We have all read the famous quotes about staying strong, but hidden deep inside the private diary of Rome's greatest emperor is a single terrifying morning ritual. If you read this specific passage today, it sounds like absolute madness. He literally trained his brain to expect betrayal, theft, and cruelty from his closest friends before he even got out of bed. I will show you this exact journal entry in a few minutes. But first, to understand why a man with infinite wealth actively visualized disaster every single morning, you must understand the invisible trap of human expectation. Your brain creates intense anxiety when reality fails to match your expectations. When you expect a perfect, peaceful day, the slightest inconvenience feels like a massive tragedy. When you expect everyone around you to be flawlessly loyal and deeply kind, a single moment of human selfishness absolutely breaks your heart. Marcus Aurelius understood that hoping for a perfect world was a recipe for constant frustration. Instead of blind optimism, he chose a completely different psychological path. He chose to look at the darkest parts of human nature directly in the eye before the sun even came up. This brings us to the first of 13 powerful Stoic lessons that will show you exactly how to build a mind that stays perfectly calm in any situation. Number 1. Expect the worst from people. The terrifying morning ritual that Marcus Aurelius practiced is written in the second book of his private diary. He wrote, "Begin the morning by saying to yourself that today I shall meet with the busybody, the ungrateful, the arrogant, the deceitful, the envious, and the unsocial." He did not write this to become a depressed pessimist. He wrote this to completely armor his mind. When you mentally prepare for people to be selfish and rude, you completely destroy their ability to surprise you. You remove the shock. If a business partner cheats you or a stranger insults you, your heart rate does not even spike. You already expected it to happen. You look at their bad behavior the exact same way you look at rain falling from the sky. It is simply a law of nature. By expecting the worst from the crowd, you protect your peace and you preserve your ability to remain perfectly calm when chaos inevitably strikes. Number 2. Separate the event from your story. The foundation of Stoic mental strength is understanding exactly how pain is manufactured in your brain. When a massive crisis hits your life, your mind immediately begins spinning a tragic story. You lose a client, and your brain tells you that you will be completely ruined, that your reputation is destroyed, and that you will never recover. Marcus Aurelius trained himself to ruthlessly separate the cold, objective event from the emotional story. The event is simply that a client left. Everything else is an imaginary nightmare created by fear. He wrote that you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. When you strip away the dramatic story, you are left with a simple fact that you can easily handle. You stop fighting the imaginary ghosts in your head, and you deal only with the reality directly in front of you. Number 3. Practice the view from above. When you are drowning in anxiety, your specific problem feels like the absolute center of the entire universe. Your mind becomes trapped in a tiny box of panic. To instantly break this paralyzing trap, Marcus Aurelius used a specific mental exercise. You must close your eyes and imagine your consciousness leaving your physical body. You float up above your room, then above your city, and finally above the entire spinning earth. From this massive cosmic height, you look down at the billions of human beings who are fighting wars, building empires, and dying every single day. From this vast perspective, your restricted account, your lost money, or your social drama is completely invisible. It does not matter at all. This technique instantly crushes your ego and deletes your anxiety, returning you to a state of profound, quiet peace. Number 4. Love your fate. When average people face extreme unfairness, they become bitter victims. They ask the universe why terrible things are happening to them. The Stoics had a completely different approach to tragedy, called amor fati, which means to love your fate. Avidius Cassius was one of the top generals in the Roman army and a trusted friend of Marcus Aurelius. In a massive act of betrayal, Cassius declared himself emperor and tried to steal the throne. Marcus did not panic or throw a violent tantrum. He actively loved the obstacle. He saw this massive betrayal as a rare opportunity to show the world how a true philosopher handles treason. He publicly forgave Cassius and ordered his army not to seek revenge. When you love your fate, you stop wishing for an easy life. You take whatever terrible thing happens to you and you use it as raw fuel to build a much stronger character. Number 5. The dichotomy of control. You spend a massive amount of your daily energy trying to control things you do not actually own. You try to control what your boss thinks of you, how the economy behaves, and whether your latest project goes viral. This is a guarantee of endless anxiety. The Stoic solution is the dichotomy of control. You must divide the entire world into 2 absolute categories. In the first category are your own thoughts and your own direct actions. In the second category is absolutely everything else. You control your actions, but you do not control their reaction. When you deeply internalize this law, the heavy chains of anxiety simply fall off. You put 100% of your focus into doing the best work possible, and you accept the results with total indifference. Number 6. Stop complaining immediately. Modern psychology often tells you to let your anger out and vent to your friends. They say holding it in is unhealthy. The Stoics viewed this as a dangerous lie. Seneca taught that venting does not release anger, it simply rehearses it. Marcus Aurelius lived by a very strict rule. He wrote to himself, "Do not be overheard complaining, not even to yourself. When you complain, you are actively training your brain to be a helpless victim. You are voluntarily focusing your attention on how unfair the world is." Mentally strong people absolutely refuse to complain because it provides zero tactical advantage. It does not fix the problem, it only drains your leverage and makes you look incredibly weak to your enemies. If you face a massive problem, stay completely silent and start working on the solution. Number 7. Retreat into the inner citadel. They can take your money, they can steal your reputation, they can completely destroy your business. But there is one sacred place that no human being and no algorithm can ever touch. The Stoics called it the inner citadel. This is the deep, quiet center of your own mind. It is the fortress of your reasoned choice. When the outside world is filled with chaos, war, and noise, you must not try to fight the storm. You must retreat into your impenetrable fortress. Marcus Aurelius faced the Antonine Plague, which killed millions of his own citizens. He survived the psychological terror by remembering that his true self lived entirely inside his mind. Nothing the plague did to his empire could ever force him to be an evil or panicked man. Build your inner citadel and you become completely untouchable. Number 8. Be strict with yourself and tolerant of others. We naturally have this backward. We are incredibly forgiving of our own mistakes, but we demand absolute perfection from everyone else. When a friend fails us, we judge them harshly. When we fail, we create 1,000 excuses. To build an untouchable mind, you must completely reverse this habit. Marcus Aurelius was the ultimate judge of Rome, yet he was famous for his deep tolerance of flawed people. He saved his strict discipline entirely for himself. He held his own actions to an impossible standard, but he forgave the weakness of his generals and his politicians. When you stop judging everyone around you, you save a massive amount of mental energy. You realize that fixing other people is not your job. Your only job is to conquer yourself. Number 9. The obstacle is the way. Every time you try to build something great, a massive wall will block your path. A normal person looks at the wall and decides to quit. A Stoic looks at the exact same wall and smiles, because the wall is the exact training they need. Marcus Aurelius wrote that the mind adapts and converts to its own purposes. The obstacle to our acting, the impediment to action, advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. If a toxic person ruins your business, that person is not stopping your progress. That person is teaching you exactly how to protect your contracts and judge human character better in the future. The betrayal is the lesson. When you view every single disaster as a customized training program designed to make you stronger, you literally cannot lose. Number 10. Confine yourself to the present. Anxiety cannot survive in the present moment. Anxiety only exists when you force your mind to travel into the future and imagine terrible things that have not even happened yet. Regret only exists when you travel into the past to torture yourself over mistakes you cannot change. Marcus Aurelius commanded a massive army in brutal, freezing conditions in Germania. If he had spent his time worrying about how many years the war would last, his mind would have broken completely. Instead, he forced his attention into a narrow, brilliant beam of light focused entirely on the present second. He wrote, "Confine yourself to the present. You do not have to survive the rest of your life today. You only have to survive this exact hour. When you narrow your focus to the immediate next step, the overwhelming weight of the future completely disappears." Number 11. Remember that you will die. We walk through life acting as if we have endless centuries to achieve our goals. We waste years of our lives scrolling on screens, arguing with strangers, and staying in situations that make us deeply miserable. The Stoics used a terrifying but beautiful practice called memento mori, which means remember that you must die. During a Roman triumph, when a victorious general was being cheered by thousands of people, a slave would stand behind him and whisper, "Look behind you. Remember you are mortal." Marcus Aurelius used the constant thought of death to completely destroy his fears. When you truly realize that you could stop breathing tomorrow, you stop caring about what average people think of your choices. Death is the ultimate filter. It burns away all the useless noise and forces you to focus entirely on what actually matters. Number 12. Do every act as if it were your last. Because death is always standing right behind you, you must change the way you approach your daily work. Marcus Aurelius wrote his famous diary in a military tent, surrounded by blood and violence. He did not know if he would wake up the next morning. He told himself to do every single act as if it were the absolute last act of his life. This means bringing an intense, terrifying focus to everything you touch. If you are writing a script, write it as if it is the final testament of your entire life. If you are spending time with your family, give them your absolute, unbroken attention, because you may never see them again. When you attach the heavy stakes of mortality to your daily actions, you stop producing average work. You operate with a supreme, quiet intensity that average people cannot even comprehend. Number 13. Discard the applause of the crowd. The final and most difficult lesson is the complete destruction of your desire to be liked. We spend our entire lives performing for an audience. We buy things we do not need, we say things we do not mean, and we change our personalities just to get a round of applause from the tribe. Marcus Aurelius found this deeply pathetic. He ruled the largest empire on earth, and millions of people worshipped him as a living god. Yet he completely rejected their praise. He recognized the ultimate madness of valuing the applause of men who cannot even value themselves. Why do you care about the opinion of someone who does not even have control over their own mind? True mental strength is achieved when you fire the crowd and make your own conscience the absolute only judge of your life. When you no longer need their validation, you become the most dangerous and peaceful person in the room. Life will continually test your limits. The systems of the world will fail you, people will completely break your trust, and tragedy will strike when you are least prepared. But your mind does not have to be a helpless casualty of the world. You have the supreme authority to build a silent fortress inside your own head. Expect the worst to protect your peace. Separate the cold facts from the tragic stories and turn every massive obstacle into pure fuel for your future. If you are completely exhausted from letting the chaotic world dictate your emotions, it is time to walk a different, much heavier path. You no longer have to carry the painful weight of their judgment. Like this video and subscribe to the channel for more ancient wisdom on finding true peace and building an untouchable mind. Tell me in the comments below which of these 13 powerful lessons you are going to use to conquer your anxiety today. Keep building your quiet strength and let your actions speak for you in total silence.